In this lesson, we're going deep into how a man's heart and mind actually work when it comes to attraction. Welcome to lesson 5.2. If you want to be irresistibly attractive to a man, you need more than pretty looks or the right words. You need to spark the parts of his mind that make him feel alive and safe and inspired to choose you without ever losing yourself. And here's something I want you to remember. It is imperative that a man feels like he's choosing you of his own free will, not because you're hinting, hoping, or pressuring him to do so. You see, men bond differently. And when you understand that, everything changes. Now, this isn't about playing games, it's about showing up as the kind of woman who lights up his subconscious while still honoring your own worth. Let's break that down into 5 pieces that activate true attraction in a man's heart. The first thing that draws a good man in, safe polarity. A woman who is soft and open, but not a pushover. She has warmth, but she also has boundaries. That balance makes a man feel both drawn to protect and inspired to respect. You let him lead sometimes, but you never lower your standards. Let's say he suggests, hey, I want to hang out my place and just chill for our first date. A woman who lets him lead sometimes, but never lowers her standards might say, oh, that sounds fun for another time, but I'd love for us to go out and do something for the first date. She's kind. She lets him make the offer, but then she holds her standard of wanting to be taken on a proper date. She doesn't snap or shame him. She just gently redirects with grace. So she's open and feminine, but her standards stay in place. As a woman, you only have 2 options: accept or walk away. If you like how a man is showing up, accept it. If you don't like it, walk away. You notice the answer is never to try to change him, especially in the beginning. Your job is to watch how he moves, not to make him move differently. This is how you date with confidence, peace, and power. The next thing, she's responsive but doesn't over respond. Let's say a man sends her a sweet text. I had such a great time with you last night. You looked beautiful. A responsive but not over responsive reply would be something like, thank you. I had a great time too, with a little smiling emoji. She receives the compliment, she shows warmth, but she doesn't gush and over explain or send 5 long messages back. An over response would sound something like, oh my God, really? That makes me so happy to hear. I was worried you weren't into me or that I had said something wrong. Ah, you don't know how much that means to me. That's when the energy shifts from calm and confident to anxious and too much too soon. Next, she's emotionally open, but not emotionally dependent. For example, let's say he tells you he had a really rough day. You can smile and say, I love it when you share stuff like that. Makes me feel closer to you. But let's say he does something you don't like he disappears for 2 days after. You don't spiral, you don't chase him. You gracefully disappear like mist because you're balanced emotionally. And that contrast, softness plus standard, is unforgettable to the male brain. Number 2 in the 5 elements of attraction is the mystery of self-possession. Men love a little mystery, not the kind where you play hard to get, but the kind where you have your own rich, beautiful life that doesn't revolve around him. You don't explain yourself all the time. You say, let's say, for example, he texts, do you want to hang out tonight? A woman who doesn't over explain might reply, can't tonight, but let's talk soon. That's it. She doesn't feel the need to say, because I can't tonight because I have to help my sister and then I'm really tired and I feel bad, but maybe we can another time. I hope you're not mad. That's over explaining and it gives away your power. The key idea here is to answer kindly, but keep it short and confident. No guilt, just justifying. Excuse me, rather, no justifying. The next thing is you take time to recharge and disappear sometimes without guilt. So let's say you've had a busy week and you feel drained. Instead of pushing yourself to text him and say yes to every plan, you simply send a message. Hey, I'm taking a little me time today to recharge. I hope you're having a good one. Then you unplug without guilt. No need to explain more or apologize. You can disappear sometimes because your life isn't built around him. It's balanced. Taking space makes you feel good and it keeps the mystery alive. A man respects a woman who knows how to care for herself without needing constant contact. Next, you have your own joy, your own rhythm, and your own glow. For example, he asks, Hey, what are you doing later? You smile and say, I've got a date with myself. A little sunset, some journaling, and ordering something way too spicy. He will think about you long after the conversation ends, not because you tried to be mysterious, but because you are whole without him. Next up, what builds attraction is the combination of praise and challenge. Men are drawn to women who believe in them, but also those who challenge them just enough to keep things fun and playful. So you admire his effort, not just his wins. Let me give you an example. Let's say a guy says, Hey, I've been going to the gym, but I'm still not where I want to be. You would admire his effort and not just his win by saying, I love that you're sticking with it. That says a lot about you. You don't have to wait until he reaches his goal to give him encouragement. You can notice the try, not just the trophy. Men feel valued when you cheer for their process, not just their results. Now, the next thing you can do, you notice what makes him unique. Let's say he's always opening the door for people, even strangers. Well, if you notice what makes him unique, you could say something like, I love how thoughtful you are. Not everyone notices the little things like you do. She points out something specific and special about who he is, not just how he looks or what he owns. When you make a man notice the difference, when you notice what makes a man different from the rest, he will feel seen. And that, my friend, is unforgettable. The next thing, you tease and joke and bring lighthearted challenge. Let's say he says, I'm a great cook. Well, you can grin and say, we'll see about that. If it's average, I'm ordering pizza. He's going to laugh and feel admired, but also playfully challenged. This creates tension, the good kind that keeps him leaning in. Remember, we talked about flirting? Okay, it's all coming together. Next, number 4, we have energetic integrity. This is about being real with your emotions without falling apart. Okay. Men are drawn to women who feel deeply, but also have a handle on her emotions in a steady and grounded way. We're going to be talking in the femininity module about the balance between masculine and feminine. You feel you feel your feelings, but you're also in control. So you wouldn't fake being chill when you're actually upset. Instead, you express how you feel calmly and clearly. So let's say, for example, he cancels plans on you last minute and you feel hurt. Instead of pretending to be chill, you say something like, it's fine, no big deal. When you're really upset, you actually will calmly say something like this. I understand that things come up, but I felt disappointed. I was really looking forward to seeing you. You see, you can be honest and kind without pretending it doesn't bother you, but you also don't have to blow up. So, the key idea here is that real connection comes from being real, not from pretending to be okay when you're not. When you have energetic integrity, your energy says, I know who I am and I trust myself. Another approach you could take to the same scenario would be to say, I totally understand things happen. I also really value follow through. I'd like to keep getting to know you, but consistency really matters to me. Now he's going to see you as graceful, grounded, and rare, and he will either step up or you will step away with your dignity intact. All right, our last element of attraction is number 5, non-needy presence. It says, I enjoy you, but I don't need for you to make my life feel full. This is one of the most magnetic energies you can give off. You see, women, most often without realizing it, carry neediness energy, hoping to be chosen, validated, or rescued. But the women who feel whole and light and happy on their own are the ones the men can't forget. Here's what that looks like. You don't anxiously overthink after a good date. You don't rush to make things something too soon. And you hold space. You let him lean in and you stay light. So, for example, you have a great date, and instead of texting and saying, I had so much fun, I can't wait to see you again, you simply say, that was fun. You've got a vibe I didn't expect. Sleep tight. This is short, sweet, and feminine. You're not over functioning. This allows him to miss you. And trust me, men fall in love in your absence more than they do in your presence. Now, if I could leave you with just one takeaway, it would be this: radiate openness with emotional boundaries. In other words, let him feel like he can win with you without ever feeling like he owns you. Let him choose you freely without you chasing, hinting, or controlling the pace. Here are a few more examples. Let's say you text him after a fun night. Had a great time tonight. You're different than I expected in a good way. Leave him space. Let him pursue. Let's say he goes quiet for a bit. Well, you don't spiral. You simply shift your focus to your life. And if he comes back with consistency, you stay open. If he doesn't, you stay graceful, but gone. Let's say he brings up exclusivity. Well, you don't rush to say yes. You say, I'm open to exploring something real, but I move at the pace that feels right for me, right? If you don't feel like you're ready at that moment. And this actually happened with me on day 2 of knowing my now fiance. He said he wanted me to be his girl. And I knew I didn't know enough about him to feel comfortable saying yes, even though emotionally I was kind of, caught up. But I stayed sound mind and I asked for more time before I made my decision, and he very politely agreed. Remember, attraction isn't built in one moment. It's built through the energy you hold every step of the way. And most magnetic women knows a man chooses me, but I choose myself first. All right, next up is lesson 5.3, where we will talk about the reciprocity rule. I will see you there.